Welcome to my next Big Bang Theory Season 11 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching The Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 15. The title of this episode is called The Novelization Correlation, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So Sheldon and Amy are supposed to go to Leonard and Penny's apartment to watch the new Professor Proton show. Sheldon fixes himself a sandwich instead and refuses to go since he doesn't want to watch his sworn nemesis Will Wheaton as Professor Proton. Sheldon is planning on complaining about it without ever watching it, and then Amy makes the suggestion that they watch it together so he can find specific points to criticize. While watching the show, Sheldon gets excited when Will describes how they are going to build a hovercraft out of some common household items. Penny enters her apartment to find Leonard at his computer, which is making typewriter sounds. He's working hard on his mystery novel, writing the scene where his protagonist, Logan Dean, arrives at CERN Collider in Switzerland. Leonard suddenly has an idea for a murder weapon. Penny, exiting the room, casually asks if it's a Swiss Army knife, which Leonard admits is even a better idea. Sheldon and Amy are having fun with their toy hovercraft. Then on the show, Professor Proton tells his science joke of the day, and then he introduces a real astronaut as his surprise guest. Enter Howard Wolowitz. Sheldon is upset that Will didn't ask him to guest star. Amy reminds him that he recently spearheaded an internet petition to get Will Wheaton fired. During lunch at work, Leonard is describing his novel where his hero discovers a new atomic particle and a murder has happened. Howard suggests that he talked to Bernadette, said she had been watching lots of detective shows while confined to the bed. Sheldon joins them and immediately forgives Howard without explaining what Howard did. Howard just accepts it, noting that he had decided not to tell Sheldon that he had been invited to guest on Will Wheaton's show because of Sheldon's penchant for his behavior, and then he suggests that Sheldon apologize to Will Wheaton. Bernadette is enjoying Leonard's mystery novel and tells him that she has no idea who the murderer is. Neither does Leonard, actually. Bernadette then asks if Penny knows that one of the characters is based on her, Ilsa, the head of the Institute, who is a confident, ball-busting beauty that keeps rolling her eyes at the hero. A scene from the novel is shown. A group of professionals are in the laboratory at the CERN Swiss faculty, and Logan looks at Ilsa and intones, "It's murder." Ilsa replied, "Figure that one out yourself, genius." Logan replies, "Okay, no need to be snarky." And Ilsa looks at him suspiciously. Who would want to kill him? Logan looks around the room. Could be anyone. Dr. Silvers, Howard look-alike, Dr. Prakash, Raj with a goatee, Hans the janitor, Stewart with a big mustache, but the door is locked, so it has to be someone in the room. "Wow, you are on fire," snaps Ilsa, walking away. The scene shifts back to Leonard and Bernadette. Leonard wonders if Penny would be flattered. Bernadette thinks that Ilsa is pretty mean, not unlike Penny sometimes. Will Wheaton answers his front door to find Howard, who apologizes for having brought over Sheldon. Will wonders sarcastically if Sheldon has moved him to his super secret enemies list. No, Sheldon doesn't have one because he is not a Bond villain. Sheldon tells Will that he is no longer on his enemies list, which doesn't seem to mean anything to Will Wheaton. Howard gets Sheldon to say he was sorry and that he genuinely enjoyed his show, Professor Proton. Sheldon also mentions that it was his childhood dream to be on Professor Proton show, and Will instead asks if Amy would be interested in being a special guest on Professor Proton since he wants to promote women scientists. Sheldon hems and haws for a moment and then proposes that he and Amy both be on the show so that women scientists know that they can land a man. Penny tells a nervous Leonard that she likes his novel and can't wait to learn who the killer is. She also finds that Ilsa character kind of mean, much like Bernadette, whom she is sure that Ilsa was based on. Then we go back to the novel. Logan tells everybody, but the door is locked, so it has to be someone in this room. Wow, you are on fire, snaps Ilsa, walking away. Bernadette. Leonard agrees with Penny. Logan continues with his analysis. Each one of you had a motive. Dr. Silver asks, who died and made you detective? Logan points to the dead body. He did. I think you're neglecting your own motive, a massive inferiority complex, snaps back Ilsa. It's not massive, just average size, replies Logan less confidently. Hans the janitor breaks in. I don't mean to interrupt, but somebody's tracking blood everywhere, so never mind, it's me. Dr. Prakash says, you say we're all suspects. How do we know you're not the killer? Asks Dr. Silver to Logan. I have an alibi. Ilsa snaps at him, yeah. He's not smart enough to pull off murder like this. Leonard claims that Ilsa wears glasses like Bernadette, even though it doesn't say that in the novel. Leonard walks off trying to convince her that the mean boss is Bernadette. Amy is working on her computer when Sheldon returns and asks if she would like to be on television on Professor Proton's show. She isn't really interested. Sheldon felt that she would want to promote science for little girls, but she doesn't want to be in the middle of Sheldon and his love for the show, and she doesn't want to upset Sheldon, who finds the situation very upsetting. Amy admits that there are other things she doesn't do so Sheldon won't get upset. Penny is sitting on Bernadette's bed, hanging out because Leonard is working late. Bernadette mentions that Leonard should stop by and that she enjoyed his book. Penny wonders if Ilsa character bothered if the Ilsa character bothered her. Bernadette then mentions that Leonard said that it was based on Penny. She realizes that he left when they were talking about it, and she now knows what he meant. Son of a bitch! Sheldon starts talking about the distressing news, how Amy doesn't do things so that he won't get upset. Howard tells him that everyone does that all the time. Sheldon asks if everyone walks around eggshells to spare his feelings. He doesn't want to have that kind of relationship with Amy, so Sheldon insists that he is going to change. Penny is reading the book, trying to determine if the Ilsa character was her. Logan is lying against a desk, wounded. Ilsa observes, it looks like the bullet went straight through you. Damn it, Logan. When are you going to stop? Logan replies, I didn't get my PhD in quitting. You're a physicist. What makes you think you can solve a crime? Ilsa says. He's losing a lot of blood, remarks Dr. Silver. Great, I'm going to have to clean that up, complains Hans. Dr. Parash suggests, a little soda water might get that out. Dr. Silver pleads, you got to find some bandages. Ilsa shouts, no, there is no time, as she tears off her sleeve, placing the cloth on Logan's shoulder. Does it hurt? Everything you do hurts, Logan replies. Then why do you keep coming back for more? She asks. Penny is pissed because she thinks that Leonard feels that she is mean and that everything she does hurts him. Leonard gets mad and as Penny storms off, telling him to write whatever he wants. Sheldon and Amy are playing chess, and Sheldon lets her win. Amy wants to know what is going on. Sheldon says that he is responding with humility and admiration. He wants her to be able to do things she wants to do without having to consider upsetting him. There might be a little girl out there that might be inspired to become a brilliant, successful scientist like Amy. Thank you, Sheldon. Amy really appreciates his compliment until he finishes that she is really bad at playing chess. Now Leonard is talking with his mother that he might be subconsciously writing about Penny. Beverly corrects him and wishes that she didn't have to do it all the time. She adds that he is a physicist and what does he know about writing a book. Then we go back to the novel. Ilsa leans over the wounded Logan. Beverly, you're a physicist. What makes you think you can solve a crime? Asks Ilsa. And Leonard leaves his mother as she again corrects his grammar. He runs over to Penny to tell her that he was writing about his mother, not his wife, and then Penny imagined a story. I think you're neglecting your own motive, a massive inferiority complex, snaps back Isla. Beverly, "It's not massive, just average size," replies Logan less confidently. Later, Dr. Silver pleads, we got to find some bandages. I am stuttering my way through this. Ilsa, as Beverly shouts, "No, there's no time," as she tears off her sleeve, placing the cloth on Logan's shoulder. "Does it hurt?" "Everything you do hurts," Logan replies. "Then why do you keep coming back for more?" she asks. Logan admits, maybe I do." Penny is looking weird with that dialogue between Leonard and his mother. Leonard then storms out, wondering why he was even writing a book since he was a physicist. Sheldon and Amy are watching the conclusion of Professor Proton, with Amy appearing on it. Will says that it was a pleasure to have her on. Amy points out that one can feel that pleasure if you don't have a lesion on one's nucleus in their brain. Sheldon tells her that she was glowing even if it was only her oily scalp. Sheldon tells her how proud he was of her, while she can tell how hard he was trying to hold it in. Amy heads off to bed so Sheldon can go up on the roof and scream at the top of his lungs. And that's what ends this episode of The Big Bang Theory. So I was not a fan of this episode. I found it rather boring. A lot of stuff that I had to write for no really reason. I don't think you all cared about the whole play part that did the same thing 3 times. I'll give the episode a 6.1 out of 10. I'll give Leonard the character of the episode, and as many of you know, I rate Penny because Penny's one of the reasons why I started watching The Big Bang Theory. For this one, I'll give Penny an 8.0 out of 10. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this long-winded episode of The Big Bang Theory. What would you rate it, and whom would be your character of the episode? You can rate Penny like I do. Just make sure you leave that in the comment section. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.